Yeah, this is Larry Krueger, and 49er fans know that here on Josh's Football Breakdowns, we don't tell you what you're seeing, we let the film tell us what we're seeing.
Thank you, Larry. And what we've seen so far this season is a 49er team that, even when they haven't been at their best, still looks absolutely dominant. And what we've seen from the New York Giants is a team that at times has looked to be in total disarray. And even though they were able to come away with the win last week, I think most people thought they would see the same thing on this week. But you know, Thursday night football is always unpredictable. Now, the 49ers did get the win in this game, and afterwards, the story seemed to be how they converted on third downs. But I've changed my opinion on that. I think the story of this game was how the 49ers beat the Blitz. What made me change my opinion? Taking a look at the film. Now, on that first play we let run there, the New York Giants rushed with 5. That is a blitz. And here on the second play of the game, they would do the same thing again. Now, whenever you send the blitz, you're taking a risk. There aren't as many defenders on the back end, and you run the risk that you could get beat for a long touchdown. The Giants compensate for this by asking the safety to drop back deep. And on the bottom of the screen, we can see rookie corner Deonte Banks is set up to take away the outside. So Deebo Samuel goes to the inside. And Brock Purdy misses him. Purdy missed some throws against the Rams, and in this game, it would take him about a quarter to get fully settled in. So on 3rd and 6, the Giants send another blitz again. They're 3 for 3 on the first 3 plays of the game. And what do the 49ers do? They go right back to Brock Purdy and Deebo Samuel. And this time they connect, and it's a first down for the 49ers. Giants almost missed that tackle, and we're going to come back to that later. As the drive continues, the 49ers put Deebo Samuel in motion, and they also fake the handoff to Christian McCaffrey. All this backfield action causes the linebackers to step up. And they also send the speedy Ray McCloud deep, taking the corner and the safety with him. And that allows George Kittle to come across from the other side of the formation, taking the space the defense left behind. And Brock Purdy misses again. Fortunately, the 49ers have so much talent at so many positions, and in this game, they would be able to lean on Christian McCaffrey. They open the hole by putting Deebo Samuel in motion. That takes Deonte Banks out of the play. George Kittle and Trent Williams block to the inside. And they pull the guard Spencer Burfer around to seal the outside. Kyle Juszczyk is the lead blocker, and Christian McCaffrey follows him through the hole. And here, surrounded by 3 defenders, we would see something else from the New York Giants that would come up over and over again: missed tackles. Here the Giants send another blitz, but they start to mix it up a little bit. Once again, they ask the safety to drop back deep. So when Deebo Samuel goes to the outside, Adoree Jackson has to go with him. And this leaves Jauan Jennings one-on-one with the rookie, Trey Hawkins. But the Giants did something clever on this play. look at the other side of the formation. That's not the safety that's dropping back deep. That's the linebacker, Isaiah Simmons. The Giants ask the safety, Pinnock, to come up to take away the route of George Kittle. And this allows Xavier Kinney to come back to the middle of the field to try to take away this route of Juwan Jennings. Brock Purdy's going to have to get this ball by him. And the 49ers beat them to the punch, and it's a big play by Juwan Jennings. The 49ers do something a little clever on their own. They come out in the I formation with 2 tight ends and a fullback and only 1 wide receiver. This is clearly a running play. Or is it? They shift, and Christian McCaffrey and Kyle Juszczyk both go out wide. The Giants, for their part, still rush 5. And this time the 49ers let them, sending their offensive linemen downfield to block for Christian McCaffrey on the screen. This play was specifically called to beat the blitz. With the 49ers threatening, they put Deebo Samuel in motion and fake the handoff to Christian McCaffrey. The last time the 49ers did this, they had the tight end run a route like this. And maybe they're hoping that the safety will step up to take away that route, allowing George Kittle to come in wide open behind him. But here the safety does a good job of staying home. George Kittle is not open. Fortunately, the 49ers have built in an outlet pass to Deebo Samuel. And Brock Purdy misses him again. And after taking a look at the film, I felt like this was the last pass in this game that Brock Purdy kind of egregiously missed. He settled in after this. On second down, Dexter Lawrence beats Jake Brendel, forcing Brock Purdy to just cut this thing loose. And it falls incomplete. On 3rd and goal, the Giants turn up the heat, sending 6 men this time instead of 5. And seeing Deebo Samuel one-on-one, Brock Purdy is going to give him an opportunity. But he's under tremendous pressure, and he's hit as he throws, and the ball hangs up in the air, and it's fortunate for the 49ers that this ball wasn't intercepted. Incomplete pass, and they'll have to settle for a field goal. And Jake Moody knocks it through, and the 49ers take the lead, 3-0. Hoping to mount an opening scoring drive of their own, the Giants are moving downfield. But here, it's Javon Kinlaw who gets the pressure, beating his man, and forcing Daniel Jones to scramble. But Jones does a good job of keeping his eyes downfield. The only place he can really go with the ball is the running back, Gary Brightwell, but he's covered. So Jones keeps moving, and when the 49ers step up to meet Daniel Jones, that opens up Brightwell. And it's an 18-yard gain. It gets the Giants into field goal range, and they knock it through, tying the game at 3 points apiece. The last time the 49ers had the ball, the Giants sent a 6-man blitz, and the ball was almost intercepted. So here, they pick up right where they left off, sending another 6-man pressure. And once again, they ask the safety to drop back. And this is the right strategy. Look at the stem of the route of George Kittle. It looks like he's going deep. When the safety drops back, Kittle takes the space the defense left behind. But this time, Brock Purdy throws a dime. It's a great throw, and just like that, the 49ers pick up a 15-yard chunk. So how did the 49ers pick up the pressure from 6 pass rushers? Well, as we've talked about often on this channel, if you want to play running back in the NFL, there's a whole lot more than just running the ball. You have to be able to catch. You have to be able to block. And, most importantly, you have to know all of the pass protections and blitz pickups. And here, Elijah Mitchell does a great job of coming across all the way from the other side of the formation to pick up the blitz. What a pass. Unfortunately, the drive would stall, and the 49ers would have to punt back to the Giants. But here, they get pinned deep at their own 10-yard line. So here, the Giants try a play that the 49ers run year after year. And we talked about this last week, but in case you weren't here, this is a play that we discuss every year on this channel for the 6 years this channel has been on the air. They fake the run to one side and use the tight end to sneak across and come open on the other side. But to help sell this fake, the entire offensive line moves to their left. This has the obvious problem of leaving Nick Bosa unblocked, which would be fine if they were running away from him. But of course we know that they're going to try to attempt a pass. So the Giants ask the other tight end, Daniel Bellinger, to execute a reach block here. That's a tall order. You're going to ask a tight end to block Nick Bosa, and a reach block at that? To me, that's a reach. Nick Bosa immediately penetrates in the backfield and destroys the play. And Nick Bosa gets his first sack of the year emphatically. Let's go back to the snap. Now, why wasn't this a safety? Okay, there's the contact. It looks like it's at about the 2-yard line there. Now, if Nick Bosa were to pick him up and carry him into the end zone, of course we know that that would not count. And the same thing applies to him pushing him into the end zone or momentum carrying them into the end zone. The play stops where the forward progress is stopped. So the officials correctly ruled that Daniel Jones was down at the 1-yard line. And this brings up the first interesting strategy moment of the game. You can see that the Giants were able to regain some of that yardage, but it's 4th down and they're short of the line to gain, so they're going to be forced to punt. Should the 49ers put pressure on them here? Shanahan decides to play for a return, and the punter for the Giants is able to get off a great kick that goes almost 70 yards. Very impressive. Here's the thing about calling for a punt block, is it could lead to a penalty. If you contact the punter without blocking the football, that could be a personal foul, 15-yard, and an automatic first down for the Giants. So Shanahan plays this conservatively. He calls for the return because in the game of football, the thing that impacts your win probability more than anything else is possession. And this possession for the 49ers would start off inauspiciously. Here Brock Purdy has a run-pass option, meaning if he sees the defender playing way off of Deebo Samuel, he has the option, if he wants to, of throwing him the ball on the slant, and that's what he decides to do. This introduces a bit of a problem on this particular play. Trent Williams gets such a great jump off the line of scrimmage that he ends up becoming an ineligible receiver downfield, and the officials would throw the flag for that. Later on in the play, we see that the ball comes in a little bit high on Deebo Samuel, and the defender reaches up to make a play on the ball, but he ends up hitting Deebo in the head. The officials decided he was just making a play on the ball, so they only call the penalty on the 49ers. Now, in my opinion, it doesn't matter why you hit Deebo in the head. If you hit him in the head, it should be a penalty. These should have been offsetting, but they weren't. So a play later, the 49ers would be faced with 3rd down and 15. And let's see how they handle it. In the Jim Harbaugh, Greg Roman playbook, they would have receivers run downfield and block, while another receiver, usually Michael Crabtree, would run in behind them and catch a pass and then use that blocking to try to get the 1st down, even though it was 3rd and long. It was a good idea. But Shanahan added a wrinkle in his playbook. The receivers still go downfield to block, but they get the ball to Deebo Samuel immediately instead, to great effect. "30 yards on 3rd and 15. Wow. Another wrinkle of the Shanahan version of the play is it allows offensive linemen to head downfield and assist with the blocking. But Josh, didn't you just say if an offensive lineman goes downfield too early, he's an ineligible receiver? Yeah, but there's a key difference on this play. And the difference is the linemen know that it's a pass. They can time it out much better. And on this play, you can see it's Aaron Banks that makes the key block that springs Deebo Samuel. And then the 49ers hit them with Christian McCaffrey. Let's take another look. Aaron Banks blocks to the inside. Trent Williams fires off to the 2nd level. What about the defender that was across from Trent Williams? Charlie Warner also pins him to the inside. Kyle Juszczyk blocks to the outside, opening up the hole for Christian McCaffrey. But McCaffrey doesn't take the hole immediately. Watch as he takes a few steps to the inside first, and then, after the defense reacts, utilizes it as the cutback lane. On the next play, the 49ers hit them with Christian McCaffrey again. This time, Trent Williams pins the tackle to the inside. Charlie Warner fires off to the 2nd level. And the 49ers pull Spencer Burford around to pick up the end. But here the 49ers would be facing a 3rd down and 5, and the Giants again would send a 6-man pressure. Now they've got the right side of the line blocked up pretty good, but there was 2 defenders lined up across from Trent Williams. Trent doesn't know which one to block, and they both managed to get into the backfield. Let's talk about what Brock Purdy sees on this play. He knows the linebacker Bobby Okereke has been assigned to pick up Christian McCaffrey. He also sees Deonte Banks is set up to the inside, so he knows he has Ronnie Bell open to the outside. And with pressure in his face, Brock Purdy throws another dime. Touchdown 49ers, and what a great throw from Brock Purdy. Jake Moody knocks through the extra point, and the 49ers go up 10-3. So the Giants get the ball back, really wanting to respond. And take a look at what the 49ers are doing. This time they're sending a 7-man blitz. I can't believe it. And unfortunately for the Giants, they've called some long developing pass routes here. The pressure forces Daniel Jones to move off his spot. And he does have a receiver open. But does Jones have time to stop, set his feet, and fire this thing out there before either the pressure gets to him or before the DB can drive on the ball? I don't know. And he doesn't want to try to make this throw on the run, and I think that's okay. I mean, how many quarterbacks are making this throw on the run? Aaron Rodgers, maybe? Josh Allen? So Jones continues to scramble, but the defense pursues. And here Daniel Jones makes a terrific play, throwing this ball out of bounds for an incomplete pass instead of taking the sack. Now, you can see where the ball went out of bounds was short of the line of scrimmage. But when the ball lands out of bounds, it is past the line of scrimmage. So this is not intentional grounding. And it raises the question, how far does that line of scrimmage extend out of bounds? The answer, it goes all the way around the world, which apparently is round. So the Giants are going to get another crack at it. But this time, it's Javon Hargrave who leaves no doubt and puts an end to this drive. So no surprise here, the Giants decide to rush with 5. And how do you run block against a 5-man defensive front? Well, here the 49ers use Juwan Jennings to chip his man, and then Colton McKivitz comes over and seals him to the inside. What about the defender that was lined up across Colton McKivitz? The 49ers use George Kittle to take care of him. And that's not Christian McCaffrey carrying the football, that's Elijah Mitchell. And I think sometimes we forget about how good Elijah Mitchell is because we have Christian McCaffrey. But Elijah Mitchell has been blessed with outstanding vision and excellent athletic talent. 18-yard run for Mitchell, and I'm glad to see he got some carries in this game because against the Steelers, Christian McCaffrey played 58 snaps. Against the Rams, he played 57 snaps, and Shanahan said he knew he needed to get the other guys involved more. John Madden used to have a saying, "It's not a round ball." And what he meant by that was the ball itself was obviously oblong and would bounce in unpredictable ways. But it's also a metaphor for the game itself, that unpredictable things can happen within the game. Here, Brock Purdy sees he has Deebo Samuel on the slant and tries to get this ball out to him. And the defender does a really good job of just driving on this ball. It gets knocked up into the air. And when that happens over the middle of the field, that can usually be a very dangerous play. But this time the ball is going out to the sideline. Nevertheless, the ball acts unpredictably here and bounces towards the middle of the field. This is very dangerous, but Ronnie Bell comes up with the catch and makes a huge play to keep this drive going for the 49ers. The 49ers continue marching down the field, and Brock Purdy does a great job of standing in here and taking this hit from the defender because he sees he has George Kittle open. This would be a personal foul, roughing the passer penalty against the New York Giants. And Kittle looks like he's got 2 men to beat for that first down, but you never had any doubt, did you? He gets the first down, and the penalty makes it half the distance to the goal. Christian McCaffrey does his thing, and the Niners go up big, 16-3. George Kittle was instrumental again on this play, blocking the defensive end, allowing Colton McKivitz to get upfield and throw the key block that would get Christian McCaffrey into the end zone. And McCaffrey has scored a touchdown in 12 straight games now for the 49ers, tying the record set by Jerry Rice. The extra point makes it 17-3, and the 49ers are threatening to blow this thing wide open. So the Giants have got to get going here. They have got to get some points before the half. There's less than 2 minutes to go now, and the 49ers send a blitz, a 5-man rush. But Daniel Jones likes this one-on-one matchup at the bottom of the screen between Darius Slayton and Deommodore Lenoir, who's lined up in press coverage. And Slayton simply makes a great catch. How did the New York Football Giants pick up the blitz? Watch Matt Breida come all the way across the formation to pick up Dre Greenlaw. Ooh, that is so good. And a good no call on the officials, in my opinion, for the hand fighting. So the play is enough to get the Giants relatively into field goal range, but this is still a long one here, 57 yards. And I know that the 49ers kicked a 57-yarder. That was last week in SoFi, where it's much easier to kick. Here, this is in Levi's, a much more difficult area to kick, but nevertheless, Graham Gano knocks it through, and the Giants get a significant score, making the score 17-6. At the start of the third quarter, both teams would trade punts, but let's take a look at this punt by the 49ers. Alright, you can see the returner raising his hand and calling for a fair catch, but it's still incumbent on Shamar Jean-Charles to get down there and make sure he secures that catch, but you're not allowed to touch him. The kick is muffed, the flag comes out for kick-catch interference, and the Giants will get a 15-yard in addition. Just on the other side of the 50-yard, they would be set up with excellent field position. And let's see, did he actually touch him here? You know what? It doesn't matter. You're not allowed to interfere with the ability to make that fair catch. You have to give him a halo. He did not do that, so the Giants are in business. Steve Wilks calls another blitz. And this time, it's Darren Waller that's lined up one-on-one against Diamador Lenore, who again is lined up in the press. And Waller shows us that even tight ends can beat press coverage. And Lenore interferes with him. That would be pass interference, and the Giants would get the ball at the 5-yard line. How did the Giants pick up the blitz? They left two tight ends in and the running back, Matt Breida, who double teams Nick Bosa. How would you finish off this drive? The Giants used the tight end, Daniel Bellinger, to block Kevin Givens. And they used the right tackle to block Kerry Hyder. Fred Warner is slow to recognize the play. And check out Darius Slayton heading downfield and blocking Talanoa Hufanga, finishing the play and allowing Matt Breida to get the touchdown. So the touchdown makes the score 17-12, and the Giants decide to go for two here. They know that this is a little bit of a defensive game, and they think opportunities might be hard to come by against this 49er defense. If they convert here, a field goal would tie the game. The Giants try to run a pick play at the goal line, but this is very messy. Daniel Jones holds the football, and the pressure from Eric Armstead and Nick Bosa gets home. Statistically, it doesn't count as a sack, just a failed two-point conversion attempt. Being down at the goal line, the idea is that the ball obviously should come out quickly. So the Giants try to block Nick Bosa and Eric Armstead one-on-one. So the Niners take over up by 5, and they recognize that the Giants are in a zone. So when Charlie Warner flares out to the side, Adoree Jackson has to pick him up. He can't stay with Deebo Samuel. He has to pass him off to the safety. And the safety has to get depth because, surprise, surprise, the Giants are sending a blitz. Big play for Deebo, who makes a man miss, makes a second man miss, makes a third man miss, and keeps fighting, makes a fourth man miss, and he gets all the way down, and it's a 40-yard completion for the 49ers. Are you kidding me? And we can praise Deebo, and we can praise Brock Purdy, but this play could not have happened without pass protection. From the time it was invented to the modern day, football is still about blocking and tackling at its core. The 49ers threaten to hit them with Christian McCaffrey. The linebackers step up, Kittle takes the space the defense left behind. Yes, the safety has to backpedal because yes, the Giants are sending another blitz. The pass is right on the money, and in case you haven't noticed, Brock Purdy is in the zone. And this 49er offensive line in the second half started to become real comfortable picking up the blitz. The Niners are picking apart this Giants defense, and here, Deebo Samuel blows right by the defender, who's forced to reach out and grab a hold of his jersey. And this pass falls off the mark. It wasn't a bad pass. Deebo was being held, and the officials correctly rule this defensive holding. It's an automatic first down for the 49ers. The Giants are getting really tired of this, so they up the ante, sending a 6-man blitz, leaving nobody left to cover Christian McCaffrey. Brock Purdy quickly gets through his reads and finds the outlet. Very well done. And here we get to what for the Giants was the most controversial play of the game. Let's start out by taking a look at the line of scrimmage. There it is, the 13-yard line. Okay. Now you are allowed to bump receivers and tight ends within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. So let's take a look. You see George Kittle in the middle there. He's getting bumped. Where is that 5 yards? You can see they are past that 5 yards. That would be a penalty for illegal contact and would give the 49ers another automatic first down. The Giants were upset about the call, but the call was correct. And you can see how the timing of this route was disrupted by that contact. But 2 plays later, the 49ers would be facing another third down, and in the face of tremendous pressure from another 6-man blitz, Brock Purdy decides to just dirt this football, throw the ball away, and preserve the field goal. And after a shaky preseason, Jake Moody is suddenly looking like an outstanding draft pick for the San Francisco 49ers, making another field goal and extending their lead to 8 points, 20-12. And the 49ers would get the ball back. And what do you guys see here on this play? Once again, they're lined up in the I formation with 2 tight ends, 1 fullback, and only 1 wide receiver. And again, the 49ers shift. Now it looks like there's 3 receivers, but there's actually 5 eligible receivers on the play. Don't forget the tight ends are eligible too, Charlie Warner and George Kittle. And this looks like it should just be about a 5-yard gain, but this is an open field tackle against one of the best tight ends in the league, and George Kittle just goes right by him. 29 yards on the play. All right, that was the last play of the third quarter. But before we take a look at how the 49ers finished off this drive in the fourth quarter, we're going to go back and take a look at a play that we analyzed last year in Week 14 against the Bucs. Brock Purdy's first ever start. We can see that the Bucs are sending a big blitz. The 49ers have Christian McCaffrey split out wide, and he puts a double move on the defender, and Brock Purdy throws a strike. All right, here it looks like they have Christian McCaffrey in the backfield, but watch what happens at the snap. The Bucs send a huge blitz, Christian McCaffrey puts a double move on the defender, and this time Brock Purdy steps up in the pocket, avoiding the hit, and throws another strike. This is the same play that the 49ers ran in the Bucs game. They just executed it better. Touchdown. No, incomplete. Incomplete. Christian McCaffrey was unable to come down with it, and let's take a look at why. McCaffrey clearly has it in his hands here. You would think he should be able to bring this ball in, but watch as McFadden makes a great play and strips this ball out from Christian McCaffrey's hands. That is really good defense by McFadden there. Excellent work. 49ers are forced to settle for another field goal, but once again, Jake Moody knocks it through, and they now are up 2 scores in the fourth quarter. And they would get the ball back again. 23-12 is your score, and it's time for the 49ers to kill this clock and put an end to this thing. Naturally, the Giants are also thinking run. And is this a run-pass option? He has Deebo on the slant. Nope. Take a look at the offensive line. High hats. These guys are pass protecting all the way. And you know what? I get it. Deebo Samuel is an absolute warrior. He's one of the most difficult receivers to tackle in the NFL. But the Giants have 2 guys here, and once again, they can't make the tackle on him. And you know, I try not to do a lot of opinion on this show. We just look at the film and let the film tell us what we're seeing. But I gotta wonder, were the Giants dreading coming into this game? Because that's sure how it looked. Look at their body language. If this was Pete Carroll, he would have these guys fired up to play the game of their lives against one of the best teams in the NFL. Which team looked like they were fighting for a Super Bowl tonight? And which team looked like they were just trying to get through Thursday Night Football? Here we go. 6-man blitz, George Kittle. Fighting for extra yards. Great effort by Kittle, comes up a little short, so the Niners call a run here. Trent Williams blocks to the outside, Aaron Banks and Jake Brendel block to the inside, opening up the lane for Kyle Juszczyk, who gets a carry. The 49ers would then go to Christian McCaffrey 4 consecutive times, setting up the Giants beautifully for this play. New York sends a 7-man blitz, very risky, no safety help on the right side of the field. Deebo Samuel gives his man a double move. And the defender is beaten. He is completely turned around, and Brock Purdy lets this thing fly. Touchdown 49ers, and they have scored another 30-point game under Brock Purdy. This team started out a little bit slow tonight, but man, they looked like a juggernaut towards the end. What do you need to throw the ball deep? Time. And how did the 49ers give Brock Purdy time against a 7-man blitz? They leave George Kittle in to help with pass protection, but they also leave in Elijah Mitchell, and watch as he takes on 2 defenders with this play. Facing an 18-point deficit, the Giants are in full desperation mode. Daniel Jones has the underneath man if he wants him, but he makes the throw to Darren Waller, and it's a really tight window, and this is actually a great throw by Daniel Jones. It hits Darren Waller in the hands, bounces up, tipped, and Talanoa Hufanga, who always seems to be in the right place at the right time, comes down with another interception, and that'll about do it. Darren Waller, we know he's a good player, but he did not have a good game tonight. You gotta bring this pass in. I know it's a tough catch, but this is crunch time. Got to make those catches. This tip dooms any chances the Giants might have dreamed of a comeback. And the 49ers go on to win 30-12, a very impressive game on Thursday Night Football. The team has started 3-0 for only the 3rd time since 1998. And that's going to do it for this week on Josh's Football Breakdowns. You know, there's a lot of people who helped to make this channel possible. I really got to thank my wife, Angie, for helping me with this. The lovely Mrs. Putnam. Send her your thanks in the comments. I read every comment. And there's a few more people I want to thank this week. My son, Jonah, who's been helping me out with the music. He's been doing a great job. And you guys have made that clear in your feedback. And I'd also like to thank Larry Kruger for doing the intro. You guys, again, in your feedback in the comments, have really responded well to that. So I have extended my deal with Larry to keep doing that. I want to thank him. And it is because of support from people like you that I am able to do things like that to keep this channel going. Thank you guys so much. You're absolutely incredible. I'm humbled. I'm honored. I can't thank you enough for your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It really means a lot. All right, tune into the Friday show to hear my final thoughts on this game and a little preview for the Arizona Cardinals game coming up next week. As always, we will feature your comments on the Friday show, so leave me a comment. I read every comment, and yours might get picked to be on Josh's Football Breakdowns this Friday. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on Friday.